Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Indian Country Farms. This is Matthew on the camera today, your videographer and your host. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Okay. This is, who are you?
Susan.
You're Susan. Okay. We don't get to see her face very often. We're going to be mainly concentrating on her hands because today we're talking about making bread. And what are we going to do here, Susan? Explain what you have out.
Okay, I'm just going to make my basic white bread recipe.
Keep going.
Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to get your yeast ready, and people call it proofing the yeast. You're going to want to use some lukewarm water, not hot, otherwise you will kill the yeast.
So it's kind of like like a baby bottle, something you put on your wrist and would just feel comfortable.
Exactly.
All right.
So what I do is I mix my yeast up like that, and then with some of the sugar that I'm going to use in the recipe, I just take like a little pinch of it. It kind of helps
And that feeds the yeast?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to put a whole bunch in there.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is a foamy top here in a little bit. It takes about maybe
That's
10
just air
minutes.
bubbles from the whipping there, and what we're
Right.
going to be seeing is that's going to grow into a froth.
Right.
Later.
So, and it'll probably be about like that thick, maybe
Yeah.
more. So I'm going to just set that out of the way.
That'll show us the yeast is alive.
Okay, so next thing I do is we have 2 cups of lukewarm water again.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and put that in the bowl, along with 2 teaspoons of salt and a 1/3 cup of sugar, the rest of that sugar.
And there again, we're feeding the yeast.
And then,
Not sweetening, feeding the yeast, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
And then you can use whatever oil you want. This is lard that I heated up on the stove, and it's 2.5 tablespoons.
For those who don't know or are wondering why we're using lard, oh, isn't that bad for your heart or whatnot? A little bit probably isn't so much. If you eat it to exclusion, perhaps. We have consumed a lot of olive oil and coconut oil, things like that. Other oils, not necessarily your commercial vegetable oils.
Yeah.
Which there is some question in the health food communities about those.
Right.
And we're going ahead with,
Okay,
oh my goodness.
so we keep our flour in a big old bucket here. We buy in bulk. Anyway, I put in about maybe 6, maybe 7 cups of flour. It all depends. It's all based on the feel. And once you get going, you really, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I level off my flour. Some people just dig right in and get the flour. I use a scoop and put it in there. And I can't really explain why I do that.
Some people, I think, feel that is a more consistent measurement, more accurate, that you're not packing the flour,
Right.
as according to the angle you're coming at it, as falling loosely, which measurements are really sort of an abstract thing in a way, if you consider the concept of how it's gathered. She was saying 6 or 7 cups of flour. It depends on the feel. You've got to go with the consistency. You've got to realize that. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so I got this great KitchenAid mixer, but what I do is
Wow, where'd you get that?
my husband.
Oh, he must be a really cool guy.
Yes, I got it for Christmas one year. Like in January.
Well, you got to wait until they go on sale after Christmas, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Anyway, but what I do first is I beat up the the first couple of cups and make sure that I get all of it mixed up really well. Okay. Now, by the way, I can do this by hand, but I do use the KitchenAid mixer a lot with the dough hook because after a while it gets a little hectic on your back. But I can do it by hand.
And since we're not living in grandmother's world, and this is modern world, we do have to conform to time restraints that are placed upon us.
So, anyway, do another.
And mixing the first couple of cups right off the bat there, that does kind of help to integrate your yeast and sugar, these primary ingredients, into your dough mixture so that it's more evenly distributed as you get the rest of the flour put in there. You don't have it doesn't tend to want to be in one place, which is not good.
Right. Now, I haven't put the yeast in yet. I generally wait until I've got the hook in and it's mixing on the machine.
That's bubbling already there, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's because of the sugar that we put in there. It really helps it out a lot, that I've found. Okay, so this is a little bit thicker, so I'm basically going to be done with using the whisk. And some KitchenAid mixers have those big wire whisks. I don't. We got the basic one. Oops. Okay, you want to go grab that dough hook over there for me? Oh, I forgot to bring it up. Okay, so this is a dough hook. Anyway, we'll get that set up there. And
where'd you get all those eggs over there in the background? Did you get those on sale or something?
nope, those are our chickens.
Oh, those are homegrown farm fresh eggs.
Those are homegrown eggs.
Yeah. And with the natural coating from the chickens on it, not being through a bleach bath, those will actually keep for several weeks, just on the counter.
Some people ask, well, why don't you put them in the fridge?
Don't need to.
You don't need to do that.
And if we see that we're going to have them for some time, what do?
We oil the eggs with mineral oil.
Mineral oil, and that I showed her face again. That kind of blocks the oxygen, the air from getting to it, and helps to prolong their life, eh?
Yeah. Well, what happens is commercial eggs get washed off, because the eggs come out of the chickens, and sometimes you'll get little.
Oh, it's got freckles.
Yeah. In other words, some of them are dirty like this. We don't, unless we're selling them to somebody and they come out like this, I'll keep those for us. Anyway, let's get back to bread. But the natural bloom is taken off when you wash them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix up the rest of the bread, or the bread dough here. And this is when I go ahead and I start putting in the yeast. Some people put it in ahead of time. This is just my timing. This is my preference. Plus, I don't have a cover on my KitchenAid mixer. Sometimes, when I'm getting the flour in there, sometimes it poofs out, gets all over the counter. This helps keep that down a little bit. Okay. See.
Yep, there it goes.
Anyway, what we're going to be looking for is a nice round dough. Now I am running out of time on this one, so we're going to go ahead and extend this into the next video. So we'll just start off right where we're at and continue on.
Okay, so don't go too far away. We're going to go ahead and you can take a break here, go do anything you need to do. And we're going to be right back. She's going to continue adding flour right here on Indian Country Farms.